checking. I'm just checking.
We'd like to invite everybody to please take your seats as we're about to begin.
I'm going to sit over there with you.
It's like it's a boxing match.
No, it's like a debate.
All right.
Good morning. Welcome to the beautiful campus of Southern Utah University. I'm Regan Hunsaker, Assistant AD for Sports Information and Communications. And it's my pleasure to welcome you today as we introduce our new head men's basketball coach. We would like to thank SUU TV and its production team for providing the live stream for this press conference. We'd also like to express our gratitude to the community and media for coming, especially for our Southern Utah University President, Mindy Benson. The rest of the press conference will go as follows, and we would ask as a courtesy to all involved that you please silence your cell phones. First, we'll hear from Athletic Director Doug Knuth. Following his remarks, Coach will address the conference, after which we will open the floor to a brief question and answer session. At the conclusion of the Q&A, we would invite you all to stick around for a short meet and greet. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Reagan. Appreciate that. Wow, it's so good to see so many people here. So many, what I consider friends now. I've been here a total of 4 months. Friends and colleagues. Obviously, the T-Bird Nation here. I see a number of our student athletes here. A lot of our coaches are here. Thank you all for coming today. Our incredible cheer spirit team, thank you for being here today. You guys are the best. Yeah, they need some applause, right? And sitting down here in front, hopefully you guys got to stand and take a bow or something, but is Rob's family. And I just want to thank them because as you guys know, and anyone that works in college athletics knows, you have to have an incredibly supportive family to be a head coach, to be an assistant coach, to do anything in athletics. You got to have an incredible family standing behind you. So I do want to recognize Deanna, Robert, officially Robert, or Little Rob. I heard Little Rob. He's not very little, though. Yep. We have JT. JT, raise your hand. Jolie, the beautiful Jolie. And then Jackson, the Jeter family. Thank you, guys. That's the core of support for Rob Jeter, right? That's where it all starts. So thank you guys for being here. It's awesome. I do want to thank some other folks before I get into introducing Coach here. And as Reagan mentioned, it starts with our president, President Mindy Benson. She, as you all know, is the most engaged president I've ever seen. Engaged with our students, engaged with our faculty, engaged with our community, engaged with everyone, right? I don't know how she does it and gets all of that done in 24 hours in a single day. I don't know how. But Mindy was incredibly active and engaged in this search process, was a member of our committee, was involved from day one of talking to candidates and obviously engaging with and interviewing our finalists. It's just amazing to work with her, and I'm grateful for the amount of time and effort, energy that you gave throughout the process. I don't know any other presidents that do it like you do, so thank you, Mindy. Thank you so much. Yeah. And our search committee was excellent. Our search committee was incredible. Frankly, it's one of the best I've ever worked with. I've done a lot of coach searches, and absolutely the best people. They were engaged, they were energized, they rolled up their sleeves and did their homework. They came prepared to every conversation, and they were just fantastic. So I do want to recognize, a couple of them aren't here because they live out of town, but a former National Alumni Board chair, and actually he's a parent of one of our former student athletes and a parent of a current SUU student. That's Scott Johnson. Scott did a great job on the committee. Another alum who's incredibly involved, active, supportive of T-Bird Athletics. Chair of our trustees right now is Jody Hart-Wilson, was on our committee. Jody was incredible. Our number one fan, maybe our biggest booster, one of the best supporters of this university, of this community, and of course of T-Bird Athletics, Eric Levitt, was part of the committee. And then our deputy AD, the man who does it all for our department, Todd Brown, just did incredible work. So thank you all. Incredible work by our committee. So I'd like to give them a round of applause for their efforts. So thank you. And we hired a search firm. These searches, especially in prominent, highly visible sports, they can get mucky sometimes, right? Because there's a lot of people that have interest. There's a lot of people that want to be part of it. There's a lot of people that have an opinion on who we should hire. And so you hire a search firm to try to manage the process and manage a lot of the moving parts of doing this kind of search. And we hired one of the best. He's a tireless worker. I don't know if he ever sleeps. I really, truly don't believe I don't know if Glenn sleeps at all, but we hired DHR Global, led by Glenn Sugiyama. His staff, Tedrick Palmer, Morgan Phillips, were amazing throughout the process. Just anytime, day, night, or weekend, phone calls and text messages to help us through this process, and just were incredible. So, Glenn, you are the hardest working man in our business. I'm convinced. Glenn Sugiyama, thank you so much, and thanks for being here today, too. Yeah. All right, Coach Jeter. You got to give me a second to properly introduce him because his experience and background is impressive, and it's incredible. So, Rob played basketball at the University of Wisconsin-Platteville. He played for the legendary coach Bo Ryan. Anyone that follows college basketball knows Bo Ryan's name. He's absolutely a legend. He was captain of his team when they won the NCAA Division III National Championship. He's the captain of the team that won the national championship. That is a big deal. His 4 years at Platteville, all right, listen to this, everyone ready? His teams were 102-16. 102-16. Who were you playing, like the high school team or the JVs? Holy smokes, 102-16. He was two-time conference player, all-conference player. He was inducted into the Platteville Hall of Fame. He's just done it all. Following graduation, he played professionally, went to Portugal, and all he did there was he led the entire league in scoring. That's not too shabby, Coach. That's pretty darn good. After his playing career ended, he returned to his alma mater as an assistant coach and helped lead the program to 2 more national championships. 2 more as a coach. He then reconnected with Bo Ryan at Milwaukee, and then eventually would follow Bo to the University of Wisconsin as Bo's top assistant for a number of years, for 4 years. With the Badgers, those 4 years, they won 2 regular season Big Ten championships. They won a Big Ten tournament title, which is really hard to do. They made 4 straight NCAA appearances, including a run to the Sweet 16 and the Elite Eight. Rob's done it all. He was later hired as the head coach at UW Milwaukee, and he'd guide the Panthers to another Horizon League Conference and tournament title, and including a first-round win in the NCAA tournament over Oklahoma. During his 10 years, he led the Panthers to another regular season title, another conference tournament title, and appearances in the NIT, the CBI, and the NCAA tournament. These are incredible accomplishments, a storied, incredible career, but here's the thing that I learned about Rob through the search process. Yes, he's done it all as a player. Yes, he's done it all as an assistant coach. Yes, he's done it all as a head coach. But here's the thing that I learned. He's been mentored by incredible people. He's been at the highest level as a player and as a coach. And the thing that I really love about him is that every single person I talk to, like bar none, unanimous, 100% of the people I talked to about this gentleman, they all told me the same thing. And it was almost like they were reading from a script. Like they all had the same, maybe you sent that out to him? I don't know. But every single person said the same thing. You're hiring a great coach and an even better person. Right? One of the greatest demonstrations of respect, I think, in sports is when your opponent, right? Your opponent tells you that you're good. Your opponent acknowledges your success, your domination, whatever it is. During our search process, we had other candidates tell us that he's a great coach and a great person. Like, that's the level of respect he has in the basketball community. That's the level people around the country have followed his career and watched him and appreciate him for what he's done. Just an amazing coach and an even better person. T-Bird Nation, we got a great person, we got a great coach. I'm so proud to introduce you to our newest head coach, your head coach, the men's basketball team, Rob Jeter. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. We'll get it, buddy.
Well, what I'd first like to say is that I spent a lot of money paying those people off, so hopefully, is it too early to ask for an extension? I need to make sure I can recoup that cash. Obviously, I'm very humbled to be here. I'd like to, first of all, make sure I say thanks to Doug Newth here and to Mindy Benson for entrusting in me and believing in me. Of course, Glenn Sugiyama with DHR for his faith and allowing me to be a part of the search and then helping me to get to ultimately where I stand here today. And I am an emotional person, so I will try to get through this without pauses and maybe crying, but I do want to say that I am here because of faith. These are the pillars of our program. We talk about faith, we talk about family, we talk about togetherness. That's all connected. There's a discipline to what we want to do, and we have to have humility. I think that's most important. I don't know if that's going to stop the tears, but if you give me a second, usually I recover. My family's incredible. If you met my family, I want to make sure that, again, that I acknowledge them. It is, I asked Doug to do that because of some things that happened this morning, but we'll get through it. Okay, give me a second here. All right. I want to acknowledge the team, the guys that are in the back, the guys that decided to come over and be here. Like, this is important. This is really important for me as I start this transition because I can't do this alone. And I told these guys that they need to trust and believe in what I'm trying to do, what I'm trying to accomplish. But the good news is that this isn't my first time doing it. This is like the third time I've stood in front of a group of new people. I haven't been around this much red since I've left Wisconsin, but trust me, it's all good. I did have a red tie left. I come from a lot of purple and gold right now, bear with me. But yeah, it's been an incredible journey, and again, filled with faith, humility, discipline, approach. But we have to do this together. So I'm asking the Thunderbird Nation to help us, assist us, to be by our side. I'm not gonna say there's gonna be some tough times. I can't say that because I've already been told that championships, he didn't say championship, he put a plural on that. So the pressure is already on. So I appreciate that. I have high expectations. If anyone asks, it's probably one of my weaknesses. I think one of them is that there's times where I think, misunderstood, but I think that comes from high expectations. I come from a family that has been very successful. My father played professional football. He won Rose Bowls. He won Super Bowl championships. So growing up in a household like that put a lot of expectations on you. I have a mother that is a teacher, very humble. I have adopted brothers and sisters, foster kids now that still live in our home. So I think I have that balance, is why I bring that up. But I'm incredibly humbled to be here and very thankful. I know I'm here because of faith, and I truly believe that today. I really do. I can ramble, so I'm going to stop. I'm not like Doug. He comes prepared. He has notes. He stays on those notes. I kind of go with the flow a little bit. It's kind of my style, I guess. I think it's the opposite of my style of basketball. We have a plan. We have a clear plan of what we want to do. I'm very clear to my team on how we want to do that, how we want to accomplish that plan. We have to be together to do that. But if you're fair, and I think if you're clear in your communication, it makes it easy for people to accept their roles and to go out there with confidence and accomplish those goals. So that is our style. We've been successful everywhere we've been, but that's only means it's not because of me. I don't know everything. I'm only as good as the players that I have and the staff that I have around me. So I'm very fortunate to be around really good people. I can tell you when I interviewed, when I came into the room, I'm sure they were judging me and interviewing me, but it's all about a vibe. It's all about a feel. So while they were doing the same for me, I was kind of getting a vibe in the room with them as well, because this is a place where I have to make sure that my family is going to be fine and feel comfortable. You know, for me, just put me in a gym, give me an office, just point me in the right direction to where I should go, and I seem to figure it out. But for family, it's important. It's really important that I'm having around good people. So have said all that, again, thank you for this opportunity. I'm very blessed, very humbled to be here, but I can't wait to kind of get out of this suit. This is the first time I had a suit on in a couple years, because as you know, in college basketball, we kind of cashed it down a little bit. We're always in sweats and zip-ups and those types of things. So it still fits, so that's a good sign. That is a real good sign. Do I open up for questions now, or do we have a moderator? Okay, we can go with that.
Yeah, we'll open this up for questions from the room.
Hey, Coach, great to have you here. As you look ahead to your first season at the helm and all the production that's being lost from the men's basketball team, how do you go about balancing high school recruiting and portal recruiting to build out the roster for next year?
Well, first, I think I go into my office and I cry. Then the second thing is I pray, and then we figure it out. And I say that in some sincerity. It is scary. You have to pray and have some faith about it as well. But then I think the experience has to kick in as well. And I've been experienced building teams. I've been around. My time at UNLV has kind of prepared me for this area and the landscape of the different people I need to meet and talk to. I think people know who I am a little bit. I've got to get to know some people a little bit better. But that's not a problem. I think I'm all right. I think they'll like me. But it's almost like it's not just me. I think there's a lot of teams in the same boat. Guys are just going to, especially your really good ones, they're going to leave. You're going to have transfers. You're going to have people that graduate, and then you're going to have people that hit the transfer portal. So we have a lot to do, but a few years ago I did the same thing. So I'm kind of still in that mode, that grind mode of like we got to get this thing going. So, after I do those first two things, now it's time to, you have to get to work. So I'm pretty excited about the staff that I'm going to put together. I have a former player and assistant coach for me that's going to come, and I think that's important. My relationship with my players is key, and to have those guys on my staff are even more important. And for whatever reason, my point guards seem the guys that I have this bond with, and so I have a former point guard coming with me who's going to be one of my assistant coaches. Well, I don't know if I should say that without them being offered the job, but I'm sure they will. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not as quiet as I guess Doug and those guys were when they were bringing me through the search. But yeah, I think it's important to have that. So I'll have some people like that. I've got people in place. We just have to get going because the transfer portal is, as you know, it's really crazy, and we've got to keep some guys that are here. I like to keep guys here. I usually say I'll give you their initials and then I just say their names, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to put them on the spot yet, but we have to keep some guys here, and we can do that. And I'm going to need your help with that because they're looking at me like, okay, yeah, coach, you say a lot of good things. But I think some others here have a little stronger, better relationship. So let's rally around these guys, and we can find a place to hide them out, I'm sure, and keep them out of sight. So, but yeah, I feel confident in the landscape and recruiting and the transfer portal and also, but the key is the guys that we have. Some of the guys that are in this room right now, we have to keep some continuity. So continuity, staff helps continuity in the team. So.
Raise your hand for questions.
The answer is yes. I'm sorry.
Coach, what are you looking forward to most just about coming to Cedar City and being a part of the community?
Flying in was impressive. You have to understand, I grew up on the south side of Chicago, born in Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh, there's a lot of rolling hills. It's a little different. Appalachian Mountains and the Rockies are different. But flying in was pretty impressive. Just getting the chance to meet the people, more impressive. The family atmosphere, the sense of community that here is really strong. That is invaluable for not only our transition, but for when we bring people on campus. That's important. It is amazing how I've traveled a lot of places. I always seem to find someone that I already know, and I was shocked that please just stand up so they know that I'm not lying here. Please stand up. There's a few people here that I already know. Thank you. And I don't know how that happens, but it's important that you're around good people. So I think that's the other piece to this. Good news, I've got a lot of Adidas shoes already, so that helps me. I got a lot of clothing, but colors might be off. But no, it's important about family. And when you're doing your research about jobs, and when they're doing your research and you, it's the same thing. It's like, is he a family person, or it was his personality, his temperament? It's the same thing. Where are we going? Where am I taking my family to? It's an awesome community. The faith and the people here and the fan base and all of that checks the boxes. It's just, if anyone has any assistance on moving a house from the Midwest over, please help us. That's the only thing that I'm worried about, really. But no, I think those were big. Plus the tradition of success. I mean, I have some big shoes to fill. I would like to continue that tradition of success, and let's see if we can take it one more step and get back to a tournament, NCAA tournament, and those types of things. So it's exciting. I'm really excited about it. Yeah.
Welcome to campus, Coach. We're glad
Thank you.
to have you. Tell us a little bit about your playing style. for those of us who have watched the grind-out style of Wisconsin, and we compare and contrast that to Coach Simon's up-tempo, let's go to 100. Tell us a little bit about your style and what kind of play we'll expect to see out on the court.
Well, we want to win 2-zip. No, I'm just kidding. So what you have to understand about Wisconsin, and you probably, when I played for Bo and we won the national championships that Doug alluded to, we averaged like 90-some points a game, like 90, almost 99 points a game. We were a full court pressing team, diamond press, trap in the corners, up the line, trying to get hands on passes. We played really fast. Our tempo was really, really high. And we were very successful at that. And as you kind of move through the different stages that Coach Ryan went through, I've watched him and played in that style. Then I watched him kind of go back to where just keeping guys in front. And I think it was more personnel. It was more personnel driven than anything for us. Knowing that we're in the Big Ten, the types of young men we were going to recruit to Wisconsin compared to some of the others, we had to adjust. So what I will tell you is that I have a strong belief and faith and discipline of what I want to do, but you have to adjust as well. My teams at Western, we were a top 5 offensive team in our league. The year before that, we were even higher. So we're gonna play and have fun. Shot clock dictates that as well. Even though way back it was 45 seconds on the shot clock. I mean, you're like, how far back was that? I mean, I shaved and I cut my hair down so I make myself look really as young as I could. But even with a longer shot clock, we still play fast. So it's going to be an exciting style. I don't want to. I think guys, in order to play free now, they have to know that they can have freedom. I'm going to have some guys that they're green light guys. If you're open, shoot it. You have to. We want to play fast. First 8 seconds, let's get up the floor. It's theirs. That's your time. The time in between, we have to look for great shots. And for me, great shots mean we have to put ourselves in positions to get inside out, get fouled. So I went 3. I went 3 inside, I went 3 out. So we're trying to eliminate some of that gray area, those long twos. And then at the end, point guard has to make good decisions. And that is probably the reason why I have such a good relationship with my point guards, because it can't just be on them. They have to facilitate as well. It's not, okay, point guard, make a play, shoot it. You have to keep your teammates involved. He's learned how to be a leader. He's learned how to have guys trust him and they'll follow him. So the last 8 seconds, we have to have someone that I can trust to make a play. And that's pretty much our style. But we're going to get up and down, 4 out, 1 in, sometimes 5 out. And there's all the pro sets that you see in Zoom action and all the things that, I can start throwing out all these names. Doesn't mean anything. It sounds good if you have the right players. So on the defensive side, again, that is really personnel driven as well. I like to get up the floor and put a little pressure, disrupt the first 2 passes if we can, hand on a pass, make it disruptive, and then we're in gaps and try to keep people from getting downhill on us. We do not want to foul. They have to make shots over us or through us. So we're trying to get to the free throw line twice as many times as our opponents. So we're trying to make more free throws than our opponents attempt. So that's always a huge stat for us. So, yeah.
Coach, as you look at the landscape of the Western Athletic Conference with New Mexico State and Sam Houston off to Conference USA and 11 teams remaining, no expansion teams are really expected at this time, where do you see Southern Utah fitting into that fold, and how do you want to try and tackle some other really good programs like GCU, Utah Valley, and others?
Well, I was going to crack another joke, but I think I hit my limit. We have to worry about ourselves, really. I mean, that is the key to this. We have to put together a team that we feel really good about. It's hard to take control of what we can control. It's the only way you can look at this thing. So that means we have to make sure we have personnel that can guard, but also personnel that can do the things that we want to do. So when you throw out these other programs, and I've coached against Bryce Drew, I know, I've been around, I've seen a lot of different styles. Do we have everything? I'm sure they don't have everything. Well, maybe they do, but that's just an excuse. You can't have excuses. You have to control what we can, and that's what we will do. And you figure out a way to win. So We want to be that team when we show up, people are man, we have those guys tonight. We have SUU tonight. That's what we want to be. We want to make sure we have an opportunity to win every time we play. And we want to put that fear of, it's going to be a tough matchup tonight. That is our goal. We can control that. Everything else, we just have to let it kind of play out. Yeah.
Welcome to Cedar City. Our student section and student involvement in games has made a lot of progress throughout last year. I would say that you have the best home court advantage in the WAC. What are your plans on keeping the student engagement involved with the team, as well as what are you hoping for from us to help with that home court advantage?
Well, I think I need to get in the weight room before I take my shirt off and do all those things that some of these other guys do. But it is so important that we have energy, excitement, enthusiasm. You have to have that, and that starts with how I engage with the community and the student groups. You know, I'm out. I rarely spend my time in my office. I'm always out moving around, and this is pretty unique. It's connected to the student union, so you'll see me moving around, and hopefully people will stop and I'll engage with. But we have to keep that enthusiasm. That is so important. That's what I remember when I was on the bench at UNLV, how it was loud. It was exciting, and we escaped. But now if we get a chance, we have to send them home, you know, feeling a little bad. But I think it's so important that you stay and, you know, you build on that enthusiasm. So that's part of my plan. I have to be engaged, approachable, be out with those guys. I mean, the red paint, give me a couple weeks, give me a couple months rather. Maybe I'll take my shirt off and at a football game or something like that. That gives me some time, you know, but give me a few weeks for that.
Coach, we had a question come in from Kendra Sheehan from the WAC.
Yeah.
You have a history of turning programs into winning programs. What's the key to consistency performing year after year?
Starts with a great staff. I've been very fortunate to have guys with me, and I'm very proud that my former associate head coach now is going to be the head coach at Western Illinois. That is awesome to see that. That is part of, that means you did something right. But it's the key is to have good people around you. And that starts with the staff. And then that staff has to make the players feel really good about who they are, and they have to feel like they can trust us and believe in us. That's all part of communication and how you treat people, treat them, they're our family. So that is the key. Good people, which we have in this room. Now I have to attract good people on our staff, and then our players have to feel that. They have to know that I care about them. And as I'm asking them to do a few things that they might not like, they have to know that it's all out of love. And then I think they will enjoy doing it. So, yeah.
Any more questions?
Coach, we heard a little about what your coaching style is like on the court.
Right.
Would you mind if I ask a little bit what your coaching style is like off the court, as far as like the culture you want to build with this program?
Well, I was going to say give the mic to one of my kids, but that might be a bad idea right now. They're a little mad at Dad. No, I would say, again, it's family. So everything that I do are based on the pillars that I talk about: faith, family, discipline, humility. You know, I'm no different, no better than anyone. It's just that I've chose basketball as my path, and I'm as responsible for, who knows, 30 people in a program. I take that very serious. I take my community relationship very serious. I think in the interview process I mentioned that a minimum of 5 different outside of activities that I try to do where I'm out, and donors or former players or even my own players, anyone that, if there's a game I need to be to, even though I might not be recruiting a player from that game, just to be out where I need to be. It's important because we're all part of this community. So that is important. That is very important. So you'll see us out and about. And then my little ones get them in some of these youth tournaments and these games. This allows me to, well, compliance, I probably should say it, allows me to be out when some of these other guys can't be out. So it's fun. It is fun. So.
All right. Well, thank you all for coming. We're going to go ahead and close the meeting there and invite you all to.
Before we
yeah.
go, though, the guys that are on the team from last year, I just want you guys to stand up because you guys had a heck of a year. You guys need to stand up and be recognized. Please stand up. Stand up. That was impressive. That was a hell of a season. You guys did a heck of a job. I peeked in on a couple games, and boy, please stay. Some of you guys, come on. All right, see you guys.
Well, thank you, Coach. Thank you all for coming. I remind you to stick around for the meet and greet,
Yeah.
and appreciate you all being here.
Thanks.
Here with the backdrop. Tall guy in the middle. Okay. You want to do one? You want to do one?